I need to be able to like switch on and off as to like when I'm working and when I'm not. And so I try really hard, even though I fail at it a lot. Welcome back. So today I'm going to be sharing a few tips and my routine for how I work from home. It's been very challenging now working from home with a baby. So I've been working from home for probably the last 3 or 4 years, and it's been super easy, you know, because it's just been me. I've been able to just do whatever I need to do. I'm not worried about, you know, having another person to be responsible for. But now with baby Hillman, it has been a little bit overwhelming to try to kind of navigate this new space of working from home with a baby. So I just wanted to kind of share what I've been doing and maybe like a few tips that might be able to help you if you're working from home with a baby. So the first thing I do every day is I get dressed. I did not realize this. The first couple of months that he was born, oh my goodness, I would just like wake up and roll over in my sweatpants. I wouldn't really worry about getting dressed and things like that. And I noticed that my energy level was really down. So one thing, like before I had King, I was able to, you know, wear whatever I wanted to wear. Like I would wear sweatpants, you know, tie my hair up. It wasn't a big deal about what I was wearing. But now that I have King, I've realized that I am very, for lack of a better word, self-conscious. Like I'm just really self-conscious about how I look. And I notice that when I wear sweatpants, when I wear like baggy t-shirts and things like that, I feel like my energy level is just really down. And so something that's really helped me is getting dressed every single day. And I don't get super dressed up. Like this is like a little sports top, but like I put on things that make me feel cute, right? I put on like a little bit of lipstick, like, and for a while I had stopped wearing lipstick, but now that I have King, I've started back wearing lipstick. Like I've just started to do things that make me feel more confident and just a little bit better about myself. And honestly, getting dressed is just a great way to start off my day because it gets me like in the habit of a routine of taking care of myself. So the first thing I do every day is I get dressed. Now the downside of getting dressed is that baby King is always throwing up on me. So it's always like this double-edged sword because it's like on one hand I want to look cute, but on the other hand I know within like an hour or two he's gonna spit up on me. But I wear stuff like this, like I wear like really comfy clothes but still cute. So it's like, okay, if he spits up on it, you know, at least I got dressed for today. So that's kind of the situation there. But regardless, no matter what, I start every day with myself getting dressed. Side note, if you guys hear music in the background, it's because baby King is obsessed with Michael Jackson right now. So in order to get him to calm down, we play Michael Jackson. So something else that's really important for me is to have a designated workspace. So I currently have an office. It's really like a sunroom that we converted into an office for me. And then also I do a lot of work sitting on my sofa. It's just really helpful to have like a designated location that I know is for work. And then outside of that, I can like enjoy the rest of my house. I hope that makes sense. But like I spend so much time, like I spend all my time inside the house. And so it's just really nice to have, you guys, this is bothering me. Is it bothering you? Anyway, so it's just nice to have like designated spaces in my house that I know like, okay, here's my workspace, here's my eating space, here's my this space. So I need to be able to like switch on and off as to like when I'm working and when I'm not. And so I try really hard, even though I fail at it a lot, I try really hard not to work in the bed, but I just can't help it, especially because like at night we put the baby down and it's just so easy to like, you know, crank out a few emails or, you know, create new pieces of content or edit videos. It's so easy to do that in the bed. But I mean, I am starting to get back in the habit of actually working here in my office at my desk and things like that. But yeah, so another thing that has worked really well for me is having a running to-do list. What I do is I literally use the notes app in my phone, and whenever I think of something, I write it down. Because before King, I had like a really good memory, but now I have like serious mom brain. Like I will forget as soon as you tell me something. So if I don't write something down, it's not gonna happen and I'm not gonna remember. So one thing that I've been doing is keeping a running to-do list so that I know exactly what needs to be done. So I keep this running to-do list, and you know, it's not to overwhelm me, but it's just to keep like, it's just to remind me that, okay, I do have these things I need to get done. And of course, like I never make my to-do list something that's like has to be done today. It's always a thing of like, okay, these are just items and things that I have or that I need to do, and then it'll get done when it gets done, because we're moms, like we don't have time. So it's gonna happen in our own time. So going off of my to-do list though, every single day I write down the one thing. Now, I read this book called The One Thing. Actually, I listened to it on YouTube. They have the audio recording on YouTube. But I read this book, The One Thing, and basically the book is telling you what is the one thing that you can do, you know, every single day that will make, you know, everything else easier or insignificant, right? And so I look at my to-do list every day and I say, okay, what is the one thing that I need to accomplish today? Like, that's gonna make this to-do list seem less, you know, daunting, or this to-do list seem, you know, a little less long. Like, what is one thing that I can do? And so when I think about it like that, it makes me less stressed, right? Because my to-do list used to be, you know, 10 items and I would just do everything on the list, right? But now I don't have the time to do that. And so the mistake that I made, like, the first couple of months he was born, is that I was sitting here and I was writing like to-do lists that, you know, had 10 different things on it, and then I would be so discouraged at the end of the day, you know, trying to figure out like, man, I didn't get anything done on my list. And I realized that it was because I was setting unrealistic expectations, right? Like, as a mom, we probably cannot, well, not we, I cannot do, you know, 10 things each day. Like, it just might not happen for my business, right? But if I can do one thing every day, that's a lot more encouraging, right? Like, when I get that thing done, I'm like, oh, okay, great. Like, today was a productive day, you know? And so like, I know as like entrepreneurs, like, we talk so much about productivity, but like, the truth of the matter is that when you're a mom, productivity looks a little bit different, right? Because productivity, like, you've had a good day. Like, I feel like I've had a good day when, you know, King has been smiling and he's been having like just a really amazing day, and we like bonded and spent time together. Like, that's still a good day whether I got work done or not. Now, of course, there are times that like I have to work, but you know, I try not to put that much pressure on myself. And by doing the whole one thing where I just really focus on one task for the day, that makes things a lot easier, right? Because like, if my thing for the day is to record videos, then I can record videos at any time during the day. Like, I can just find different pockets of time. A lot of my vlogs and stuff, I'm recording that throughout the day. So it's like less stressful, because I'm like, oh, at some point the video will be recorded and I don't have to stress so much about like, I have to record the video, I have to edit the video, I have to, you know, send emails, I have to do this, I have to do that. Like, I'm just focused on one task. So that has been really, really helpful for me working from home with the baby. And so, speaking of like productivity as a mom, one thing that I have noticed for myself is that it has been really important for me to give King undivided attention. So when it is time for me to spend time with King, I just do that. I don't do anything else. I don't try to multitask. I don't try to like, oh, you know, I'm gonna work and spend time with him. Like, you know, there are times that I do, you know, work and work and hold him at the same time. But 9 times out of 10, when I am spending time with King, when I'm doing something with King or for King, I am focused completely on him, because I find that he's happier. Like, he smiles at me and it's so freaking cute. It's like, oh, it just melts my heart. And he's so small. Like, these are the moments that go by so fast. Like, everybody says like, oh, you know, it all happens so fast. And so I'm just at a stage right now where I'm like, you know what? The time that I have with him, I just have to spend with him and focus on him. Because when he's happy, you know, everything falls into place, right? When he's happy, he's fed, he's dry, he's clean, everything, you know, so he'll go down for a nap and then I can do what I need to do and he's happy, you know. And so I think about it as like, you know, if his love tank is full, then he gives mommy the space that she needs to work. And so it's just like, okay, yeah, like, there are going to be times I'm going to have to kind of, you know, maybe sacrifice my work or sacrifice a little bit of sleep, you know, to like make sure that he's happy. But especially at this age, I'm just like, you know what, it is what it is. Like, as long as he's happy, at some point I will find the time and I will have the time to do the work that I need to do. So that's just been something that's helped me a lot. Is like, when I'm with him, I'm just with him. I'm not trying to work or think about work or do all the other stuff. No, I just try to focus on him, because honestly, I tried the whole multitasking thing and it usually doesn't work out unless it's like a super simple task. It usually does not work out for me to try to balance both of them. But if I do have to balance both of them, I do simple tasks. So like, when I am breastfeeding, that's like a time that I can actually spend, you know, sending emails. Like, I love sending emails while I'm breastfeeding, because I mean, the most that he's doing is falling asleep, honestly, on my boob. And so I will just send emails. Maybe I'll watch videos. Like, if I need to learn something, I'll do like courses. Like, I use that time that I'm breastfeeding to like do my education stuff. I'll listen to podcasts. Like, so my other tip and the other thing that I suggest is, there have been plenty of days where I have woken up early or stayed up late. I'm a night owl, so I love staying up late, and so I will stay up late to work, like, and sometimes like some of my best work happens honestly at night. I'm not gonna lie, my best work happens at night. But I mean, I'm exhausted. I am so tired. Like, oh my god, like the level of exhaustion that I experience sometimes when I'm trying to, like, you know, get something done or, you know, do a project and I decide to stay up, man, like I always, later on, I'm kicking myself in the butt because I'm just like, I should have went to sleep. But you know, it is what it is. But just know yourself and pick your most productive hour, because for me, my most productive hour, like I said, was at nighttime. So I will, like, you know, stay up a couple of hours later at night and knock out some work. And honestly, I feel so much better about myself because then during the day, granted, I wake up a little bit later, which is like kind of hard with him, but we can actually like enjoy the day, right? Because my work is done. I'm not even thinking about work because I know that whatever I had to accomplish is done. So for me, that's been really helpful, especially like leading up towards like a deadline or leading up towards something that I need, you know, to create or need do or whatever. It's really helpful, like if I do decide to stay up late. Waking up early, that ain't for your girl, but staying up late, I can definitely do that. So another thing for me is that I maximize King's nap times. Whenever he goes down for a nap, I try to beeline to doing some kind of work. Now sometimes it ends up being housework. Like he's almost 3 months now, so we kind of are in a little bit of a groove. There's no real schedule, but there is a little bit of a groove. And so I know like his first morning nap ends up being a short nap, so I use that time for like my cleaning and stuff. And then when he has his long nap, which is a little bit later after that, he'll have his long nap, which is like about 3 hours. Boy, I will beehive to my office to get work done because I know that like I have to maximize that time. And again, going back to like the whole one thing that I do, I know what my one task is for the day, so that is the time that I try to get that one thing done, or at least as much of it done as possible. Like right now, this is his 3-hour stretch of a nap, so I'm sitting here trying to record a couple of videos. That way I know I have content and I'm not having to stress about, okay, do I need to record a video, or when am I going to find time to record a video? So man, nap times, like maximize the mess out of that, especially when you kind of figure out what their schedule is, because he's not on like a 100% schedule. Like I don't really put him on a schedule or anything like that. I kind of go with the flow. But lately I've noticed that he kind of is falling into his own routine, and so I'm following suit. Like, okay, if 3 hours a day is all I have to work, I'm gonna maximize that time. And then 3 hours a day plus maybe 1 hour at night, that's 4 hours of work. I'm not mad at that. Like that's enough time for me to get done what I need to, the one thing that I need to get done. It's enough time for me to do that. So definitely maximize those nap times, because man, I don't know when this is going to end. I don't know if I'm just going through like a sweet phase with him or what, but I'm taking full advantage of this whole nap time situation. So another thing that I had to realize, or another thing that I had to kind of accept, is that there are going to be interruptions, right? I have learned to expect to be interrupted. I have learned to expect, you know, him to wake up from his nap a little bit earlier, or you know, maybe like the 30-minute nap that I thought he was going to take only ends up being 10 minutes. Like I've learned to kind of like expect these interruptions, and I've heard that it never changes. Like as he gets older, I'll probably get even more interruptions. So you know, now I'm just kind of in a mindset that I'm like, okay, I know that at some point he's gonna wake up, and it may not be when I thought he was, so I just have to do the best that I can, right? And it can be like a little bit frustrating, I'm not gonna lie. Like I get kind of frustrated. Well, I was getting frustrated. Right now, like I said, we're going through a smooth phase, so I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna embrace it. But there was like a time that I was just like, man, I cannot get anything done, and I would be like really down on myself and kind of really like stress about it. But the truth of the matter is that he's a baby, like he's a kid, you know, and so, you know, he needs me, like he needs me, and I getting upset is not going to change that, you know. And so now I'm just starting to embrace it, and you know, it actually makes me really happy that you know, when he wakes up, he's looking for me. Like, you know, he wants to, you know, he wants to be with me, he wants to be around me. And so it's just a matter of like, okay, balancing like what I need to do versus, you know, balancing him. And so something else that I found helpful is that Tay and I actually trade off. So if you have a partner, a spouse, if you have grandparents, if you can hire somebody, like one day I may have to hire someone if both Tay and I have to work. Tay's working from home too right now, so Tay will work for 2 hours and I'll watch the baby, and then we'll switch, and he'll watch the baby for 2 hours and I'll work. And so that's been really helpful. So when he goes back to work, I'm not sure what we're gonna do. We'll probably consider like either a grandparent coming to help us, or putting him in daycare. And so it's just like, you know, just to make sure that we're able to get the work that we need to get done, because it is kind of challenging to just do it on your own. So one thing that I'm just like really embracing is like, okay, expect the unexpected, but I have help, right? Like I have help and I need to use that help. Or if for whatever reason, like in our circle, we don't have the help, then okay, now we need to look into other options like daycare or a nanny or something like that. So that's like where we kind of are with that situation. But if you have someone to help you, like don't be afraid to ask for help. Like that's something that I just got to that point. Like it's been 3 months and I'm just now getting to the point that I'm like, okay, I have to ask for help, right? Because if I don't, nobody knows that I need it and they're not going to offer. Like people are not going to offer to help you if you don't ask for the help, you know, because otherwise people think that you're fine. So that's something that I've just gotten to now, and it's made things a lot easier because now I have that support that I need to get what I need to get done. And I'm finding my voice to say like, I'm still a good mom, even though I'm asking for help. You know, like as moms, I think so often we feel like we have to do it on our own, but that's not true. Like if you have a partner, if you have a spouse, if you have family, like they're here to help. And so ask for it if you need it. Of course, don't abuse it. Like as far as your family, like if you have a partner, like they're supposed to help you. But you know, as far as like family and stuff like that, you know, if you actually need the help, ask for it. And so I'm finally in that space now. Pat myself on the back because that took a minute. But yeah, so that's just another tip and something that I've found useful. Is just actually saying like, hey, I need these 2 hours every day, so we need to figure out how I can get this 2 hours so that I can do the work I need to do. So another thing that has been working for me very, very well is to baby wear. I've been wearing King in I have a Kia Babies baby wrap or baby sling that I've been using for him, or I'll put him in the bouncer and I'll just bounce him on the floor next to me. Both of those work really good. If he's awake and I just have to desperately get something done, then I will use that. I will either carry him or I will use the bouncer so that I can sit down at the desk and get work done. I usually try not to do that though, because it's just super challenging to work with him, especially when he's awake. If he's asleep, that's a whole different story, but when he's awake, it's just, I don't even know why I try sometimes. But I do find that if I just there's no other option and I have to work, I'll do that. And usually I'll just like try to rock him or something to kind of get him to calm down enough for me to get done whatever I need to get done. And the last thing that like has been just really important for me now with working from home and having King is outlining my process and batch creating, like, or batch working. So what I mean by outlining my process, I use a platform called Asana, and Asana allows me to create basically like lists of what I need to do. And so in my business, I know that like what kind of content I create, I know what kind of launches I have, like I know what all is coming up, right? And so what I do is I write out the system for all that. So what does it take for me to write a blog post? What does it take for me to write or to record a podcast, to do a video? Like what all is involved in that? And so I write out what the process is. Then I go through and I batch content together. So like I know that, you know, I might have 3 videos that need to be recorded. Well, instead of recording 1 video, then editing, then, you know, uploading, blah, blah, I'll record all 3 at the same time. Then I'll go through and edit all 3 at the same time. Like I batch everything together. I have found that by writing out what my process is and then batching all my tasks together, man, it has made me so much more productive. And honestly, I feel a lot less stressed. Like that has been like one of the biggest things that's helped me now. I used to batch create things before, like before King was born, but it wasn't to the level that I'm batching things now. And so I think that what's changed is that I've written out my process. So now I know when I'm choosing like what my one thing is for the day, I know that my one thing purely is like recording, or purely is writing, or it may just be responding to emails, or you know, reaching out to new people to collaborate with, or whatever the situation is. Like I know what exactly I need to do, how to batch it all together, and it just makes my schedule flow so much better. So that's kind of how my working from home with a new baby has been going. You know, it's been definitely a very interesting journey. It's been a little bit, it's been a lot challenging. I'm not gonna say a little bit, it's been a lot challenging, but it has been very rewarding because I feel like I finally got to a point that I'm kind of finding a little bit of balance. Now I do know that like when he starts teething and when he starts going through all these other different milestones, it's probably gonna get a little bit harder again. But as of right now, like I feel like we found a sweet spot, especially between me and my husband, like, or me and Tay, just being able to kind of balance our schedules right now to make it work. And so we'll see how things look in the next couple of months. Anyway, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope this was able to help somebody, or, you know, maybe give you like a few tips, or just if you wanted to know how I'm balancing things as a new mom and with my business. So thanks so much for watching. If you like this, definitely subscribe, like, leave me a comment, and until next time, I'll talk to y'all later.